So we're going right now for my 150th sea dip of 2023. Now the sea dips are an interesting thing. I've done them for a few years now. Not every single day, but now it's getting to the point where I am doing them 7 days a week, more or less. Only time that I'll miss is if we'll have to be away somewhere. But what's interesting about the sea dips, after years and years of doing them, is the benefit. Because people always ask us, they say, Luke, what's the benefit of jumping in the sea? Now, I'm just about to do the 150th one. And we're doing it at a different time of day right now, actually, because what tends to happen is that on a morning, I can't get my video guy to come down. So it has to be later on this afternoon. When it's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I would usually do this at 7:10 in the morning, almost every morning, 7 mornings a week, and would usually come to this spot, which is Sandhaven Beach. If you turn around the camera there, you can see, next to Coleman Seafood Temple and the Crab Shack in South Shields. And at the minute, it is about between 11 and 13 degrees. It's quite fairly warm for the sea, the North Sea that is. Down in the winter, when we go in December, January, February, it's like 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, very, very fucking cold. But this time, it's fairly warm. It's still cold, you'd still get in if you weren't used to it and be like, oh, it's cold. But after a minute or two, you'd be fine. Whereas it'd be a different story in the winter. So, we're gonna go down, I'm gonna show you how it all works. I am gonna take you through the benefits as well, excuse me, as to why I actually do it and why it's important and why maybe you should too. Let's go. Come. This excites the fuck out of me. So 7 mornings a week we come. Sometimes the tide's in, sometimes it's out quite far at the minute, so I'll have to walk out quite a bit to get in. There's loads of people here at the minute because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We usually, when we do this at 7:10 after TST, our morning training, where a very small group of us comes down, and usually more people on a Saturday do it, but we're trying to get more people involved after training, because one of the best ways to wake up is physical exercise and cold therapy. So cold therapy, there's a few reasons why it just works and it's so beneficial. So I'm going to go in now for about 5 minutes. I would usually do 10 on a morning. They say it's a degree a minute. So right now, really, you could expose yourself for 11, 12, 13, 14 minutes because it's quite high in the temperatures. In the winter time, when it's like 4 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees, you tend to do that many minutes at the most because it's quite extreme. But when you hear about the cold, you remember what your nana used to say, or your gran, or your mother even, like, oh, wrap up warm, you'll catch a cold. Bullshit, you won't catch a cold. You catch a cold as an airborne virus. It's not from the cold. But the problem is, people don't actually understand that cold therapy has many different benefits. So, number one is that actually it reduces aches and pains. If you've got aches and pains, whether in your back, your knees, your neck, your hips, wherever, the cold will cool the nerves, which will help with decreasing inflammation in the body. So you'll tend to find that your aches and pains have less intensity when you use cold therapy. A lot of people have ice baths in their back garden, or big tanks of water, or they do wheelie bin plunges, things like that. I love the sea. Obviously there's only so far cold you can get it, but you'll notice how athletes put ice packs on their knees or their elbows and stuff after physical sport, because it basically cools down the nerves and the joints, and it reduces pain and swelling and inflammation. So that's number one. Number two is that actually it's been shown to improve your immune system. Several studies that now support this, and people don't understand this, think that the cold makes you sick. Now, fair enough, if you were in freezing cold and you were exposed to it for hours at a time and you were going in pre-hypothermia, maybe. But you know, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, of cold therapy can actually boost your immune system. I don't know the exact science behind it, but apparently it causes a lot of the body to restrict and the blood flow to restrict because of the cold. And then in a reverse effect, when you get warm again, it opens the blood flow up more, which means a healthier flow of oxygen and blood around the body, which in turn can massively help your immune system. And not only that, it causes you to breathe better. You can't go in the sea and go, you will at first if you're not used to it, but you have to control your breathing and regulate it. And regulated, controlled breathing, like deeper, full breaths, oxygenates your body and actually helps your immune system. Now the third thing, I'm gonna tell you when I come out. But first I'm gonna go in, we're gonna do 5 minutes. Look at the waves. The waves are pretty intense, they're pretty extreme. Now, I'm quite confident in the water, so if you weren't, I wouldn't say go in too far, or maybe avoid it when there's crazy waves. But if you're a confident swimmer, you're confident in the water, go for it, yeah? Now you gotta be smart, because it's Mother Nature. I'm about to have a near-death experience right here. If you look at those waves, they don't look like too much, but it's gonna be quite extreme when I'm in there. So I'm gonna go right now for 5 minutes. I would usually do 10 in the morning, but like I say, we could only really do this video on an afternoon, and this is my 150th sea dip of 2023. So before I start, I always use gloves throughout the winter and the summer. Just my hands suffer the most, my hands and my feet. So there's no harm in making them warm. I always put a little bit of warm water inside the gloves. I also use my feet to be swim shoes as well, just to keep my feet warm. And apart from that, I don't use a wetsuit because that defeats the point. I would only use a wetsuit if I was going in for an hour paddleboarding or something like that. But for real cold therapy, you want to go in close to the skin as possible, man. Close to the skin as possible. The first minute's always the hardest. When you do it, you have this kind of getting used to it, and then after a minute, you're good. You're good. So Adam, who is behind the camera, is going to time me 5 minutes, and he's going to wave his arms in the air when 5 minutes are up, aren't you, son?
I am indeed.
You're going to wave this. I'm going to run straight in there. It's going to take a little while to get out. There's many people around here, but not many. There's a few dippers over there, but they're not going in very far. It's quite smart. But yeah, we're going to go and get a bit crazy here. Here we'll go. See you in 5.
What did you forget?
You got your phone? So obviously we don't want to take a real camera anywhere near the sea, but I've got my phone in the protective cover in here. And Adam's just behind there, following the ins and outs, and I'm going to take you right in the actual sea with me. So 150th dip today. I like running because it's fucking exciting. Woo! Hey, hey! We're gonna go in backwards here. Oh, you brother. Let's go. Ready? Ready with me? Whoa! Woohoo! I took it off my hand. Fucking hell! Woo! Woo! Usually I go a bit further in, but the waves are pretty extreme, and I'm holding onto my phone because it snapped off the case with that wave. So I don't want to lose it. Woo! Whoa, yes, this is it. So Adam's gonna let me know when it's 5 minutes. Let's get ready, folk. Here we go. Woo! Wowza! Woo! Woo! Hey, hey, hey! The joys. Hey, no better than being at one with nature. Oh, you bastard! Phew! Hey! Where is he? Ah, here we go. Woo-hoo! Oh, hey, hey, hey! Fuck me! Oh, hey! I push right back to shore here. Right back to shore. I love the waves. I love when the waves are really extreme and quite frightening. And what you tend to do when there's big waves. Hey! When the waves are big, you dive into them so you don't get wiped out. So there's the technique. If you can catch it right where the curve is, you jump straight in, there's no pushback, which is really cool. I don't know if I'll do that now though, because I've got a hold of my phone. And I usually don't take my phone in, but woo! Hey, hey, here we go. Tremendous. Tremendous. Got lots of salt water up my nose right now. Please. Ah, the joys. 150th. Tremendous. Oh. Woo. That was tremendous. How long was that?
About 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes. Yeah. So, had my phone on us, but had to hold on to it really tight. So one of the waves pulled it off the strap. And I hope I got some good footage on here. I couldn't get fully in. I would have been in the waves, diving in them and everything, but not with the phone in my hand. But the last point about why I love sea dips so much and why I feel that very important, cold therapy in general, not just sea dips. Obviously, you're at one with nature. You're connected with that thing called nature. And excuse me, a lot of people get low and depressed because of disconnection with certain things, with family, with mission, purpose, you know, with a routine, etc. But one of the biggest things that people forget is the connection with nature. And there's no more power than being in the sea and at one with nature. We do it every day now, 7 days a week. And it's a more connective, grounding experience than you can possibly imagine. It's amazing. And lastly, I would say this. It makes you feel fucking alive. The energy I feel coursing through my body right now is on another level. I feel fucking magnificent. Now I'm gonna go and get a shower. I'm gonna dry myself off and I'm gonna go and exercise now, so it's around my exercising time. However, my clients, I coach at 6 a.m. in the morning. We usually come down straight after exercise. Is it good before or after? I don't think it really matters. I think what really matters is you just get it done. It's cool in the morning because it boosts you up for the day. And I am super grateful in many ways that I get to live next to the sea as well. In South Shields here, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and I'm super grateful that I get to experience this for free every day. I know a lot of people don't have that luxury, but there is cold therapy in your bath, there is cold therapy in tanks outside, in ice baths, things like that, which work very similarly. So if you can't get to the sea, get in some kind of cold, but it's the cold that livens you up. It's the cold that makes you great, because if someone just poured a bucket of warm water over your head, it wouldn't be the same. It's the cold experience, it's the experience of nature that really pumps you up. So hopefully this caught some good footage, and you're seeing it on there, and I will. Before we go, come over here. That's a dead jellyfish. That's a dead jellyfish. Oh, would you look at all the tentacles? Oh my God, that's a dead jellyfish. They're all there. I've been stung a few times. It's kind of itchy, it's annoying, but you're not going to die unless you have an anaphylactic shock, which I can't really comment on. But there's always fear of the sea. There's always fear of jellyfish and sharks. There's no sharks in South Shields, thankfully. But we have seen dolphins and seals as well, and that's a magnificent experience. Literally, dolphins and seals around the whole thing. But yeah, 150th dip. We're good. It's all about feeling good up here. Let's go.